did research. No, I don't think it's that bad. Personally.
Welcome to Pick a Hand, the interview show where I bring on fellow creators and attempt to take their money. How? Through multiple pick your poison scenarios, I ask them the tough questions your local podcast is frankly too to ask.
Yeah. We're actually changing the rules for this one. I'll explain in a bit. But for this episode, I brought on a natural talent. A bad movie buff, a whole-ass musician, don't tell her I told you though. A home skillet biscuit knows her simply as Kennie, JD. So please grab yourself a Squishmallow and enjoy the interview, after we pay some bills.
Sponsored by NordVPN. Gotta protect yourself. Safely explore the World Wide Web. Worry about no one else. All of your data encrypted. Nord's here to help. And one more thing to mention. Here goes nothing well. Nord can save you dough, because bookings may adjust pricing to your home. Like in the US, this one don't charge you for a whip, but if you click switch your server, now they might just change it, because Italy thinks you got a different budget. Check the prices from the place you go, it might just plummet, and I might just run it up to 6 devices, and I think my vices saving money in a pinch like vice grips. Here's the deal. Right now, you can get a 2-year plan with a huge discount plus 1 additional month for free when you go to nordvpn.com/MrGG or click the link in the description below. And thank you, NordVPN, for sponsoring this video.
Hello and welcome to a very special episode of Pick a Hand. I am joined here by Kennie JD. Hello, Kennie. How are you?
Hello. Thanks for having me. For everybody that might be familiar with the More Butter team.
Yeah, sure. This is the reunion episode minus Amanda. Sorry, Amanda.
Sorry, Amanda.
So this Pick a Hand has different rules and a different format than the others I've done. Normally, if you refuse to answer questions, there's like a consequence of sort. I just assume you're gonna answer everything, so we're not even bothering with that today. So I integrated some trivia into this episode, and for every wrong answer, or 2 wrong answers, or whatever feels agreeable between us, you have decided to take a shot of your choice. What you got on hand?
We got Tito's that has maybe 2 shots left. And then if I keep losing, we're going for good old Jose.
The most adorable bottle.
It's the tiniest thing because I don't drink very often. So I have it for like little itty bitty cocktails. 200 milligrams.
I'm going to guess you maybe don't even finish that Tito's. I think you'll do all right. But we'll see on this first one because we're going to start with trivia.
Okay.
Now, Kennie, we all know you are indeed the connoisseur of crap when it comes to movies you review, right?
I love that that's stuck.
And I know you've had your fair share of experiences with Tubi.
Yes.
So, I'm going to give you 4 Tubi titles. One of them is fake. You have to choose the fake one. And if you need help, you are able to ask for the Tubi description of that movie. Here are the movies. There are 4. Ready?
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
We have Trader's Paradise, Watch Your Back, Monogamish, and Induced. One of those movies are not a Tubi title. You can ask for the descriptions if you'd like some assistance.
The one that sticks out to me is Monogamish because it sounds very stupid. So that lends to believe that it is what is Monogamish's synopsis?
Glad you asked. I got it right here. Lucky in love and work, successful realtor Zane is living the American dream until the day her husband asks her to open their sexual relationship.
No, that's definitely a Tubi movie. That's definitely a Tubi movie. Is Induced about induced labor?
Well, if you're curious.
Okay.
A pregnant couple goes to a remote cabin in the woods to deliver the baby, but comes under attack from a predatory midwife looking to take it away. Yeah, we got some bangers in this list.
For some reason, I feel like that's too well thought out to be a Tubi movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say Induced is the one that's not real. Or not on Tubi.
Final answer.
Yes.
Locks it in. Kennie has chosen Induced. I will tell you right now, Kennie, Monogamish is a real Tubi title. You sniffed that one out right away. Let's fucking go. Watch Your Back is a real Tubi title as well.
That sounds like one.
Induced is also a real Tubi title.
No!
Trader's Paradise was a made-up movie that I made up. Trader's Paradise, don't know what the fuck that is. Are you trying to prove me wrong right now? You on Google?
No, I'm just curious what it looks like.
Induced?
Oh, she's holding scissors.
Oh, maybe that's why I chose it. Probably got my attention. I was like, yeah, that one looks fire.
I'm gonna add this to the list. She takes what she wants.
Oh, yeah, no. Okay, now I remember this cover. This absolutely got my attention, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's hilarious. Am I doing it for each one I get wrong, or is it every... Let's do every one. I'm not a punk.
Okay, everyone, let's fucking do it. Start off with that Tito's.
Tito's,
You're 0 for 1 to start. Cheers.
Cheers.
Please don't forget about your chaser.
Smoother than... Nope. I was gonna say smooth...
Yeah, who needs it?
I was gonna say smoother than I remember. Nope. I think this is now the time when I should say I'm actually a lightweight now.
Maybe this should have came out in the pre-production of this.
No, I like chaos. Let's go.
All right. Well, chaos it will be. We're moving on to the second one here, and we have quickly arrived at our first pick a hand because of the format of this video. So, it doesn't matter what hand you pick because you're still going to get punched in the face. Kenny, I will give you one word as a hint to each hand's question, but that will be it. And yes, the pick a hand questions will get a bit more saucy each time we come back around, nothing too crazy. In my left, we will talk complaints. In my right, we will talk opinions. Kenny, JD, pick a hand.
Both sound the same to me because I complain and a lot of my opinions are complaints. So let's do complaints.
All right, you chose the left. We're going with complaints. Kenny, you've mentioned having a bit of an issue with content creators complaining about the difficulty of their job. Aside from just general whining, is there a specific complaint or angle someone has taken that really got you hot?
How should I put this in the most diplomatic way possible? There are some people that definitely give off the energy of not really giving a fuck about their viewers at all. Mm-hmm. And that bothers me. It's like they participate, they, the parasocial relationship works both ways, in the sense that you get paid from their engagement and stuff. So I don't love when I just see, especially I've noticed very big creators that kind of just treat their viewers like numbers and kind of just say fuck it, I'll do whatever. A lot of scams. I've seen a lot of scams in particular, and it's just it bothers me in particular because the type of influence you have, and you're just fuck these 12-year-olds, let's go get whatever I can get from them, and it's ugh. So I think that's a pretty big problem I have with a lot of people in the creator space. I have noticed though, I think they get way more attention than the average creator though, because I think most creators are very caring and interested in their viewership in the sense that they want to do what's best for their community in general, not just the bottom end. But yeah, I think that pisses me off more than when you can tell somebody just doesn't give a fuck about their viewership at all. It's very frustrating to me.
Okay, so not giving a fuck about your viewers.
Yeah. I
obviously agree. I used to talk about this with streams. I don't know. Have you ever streamed?
Yeah, but not in the sense of really know what I'm doing. I just stream off of my console. And so I'll play games and people can just hear my voice, but I don't tend to set up and have a whole get down or whatever for Twitch. Okay. And Twitch doesn't give a fuck about their streamers either. That also pisses me off, but that's a different thing entirely.
That's an entirely different rabbit hole.
That's an entirely different rabbit hole.
The reason why I brought up Twitch is because I think Twitch is supposed to be that more than anything, in my opinion. You and chat. Live chat. That's the whole point. I get it fucking... you're this guy with 50K views. I get it's impossible to keep up with every comment, but people who don't have those numbers and are just never acknowledge the chat once, that just blows my fucking mind. Genuinely, that blows my mind. But that's just me. Now, do you want to move on to the right hand of opinions?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Why not?
All right.
I'm only one shot in.
Aside from you causing a riot when you told the world that you enjoyed warm grapes, which I refuse to get into.
That's such an obscure reference.
Aside from that, you've been very vocal about your Twitter being your possible downfall. Anything we saw you tweet, we didn't, right? Is there a specific tweet you deleted, or maybe one that's still floating out there you think, in retrospect, maybe crossed a line or two. Maybe you kept it tucked away in the drafts. I don't know. Does one come to mind?
There's one that's not even that long ago that I know I should delete, but I won't because I think it's a banger. And for that, and also people have already screenshotted it so much that I'll never live it down. For those who don't know, I have the biggest crush on Roman Reigns, the wrestler. And so every time someone does like a thirst edit of him, they always at me. And I may have said, I don't think it's that bad, personally.
Okay, I'm all ears.
But I would, until the room smelled like booty hole and bacon grease, and people really, I feel like I've said worse. But for some reason in recent memory, that one is the one that gets screenshotted the most. So
that one got talked about a lot.
I feel like I should be ashamed of it, but I'm not. And so, but like, I'm single. So if anyone wonders, there you go.
This is being a little descriptive. So I don't see anything wrong with it.
I don't see anything wrong. But like, again, there's certain tweets of mine that I know they will exist in perpetuity. And I just have to accept that. I'm going through my Twitter right now. And I guess another somewhat controversial take I've had recently, which I did not expect it to be that controversial. Quote, I have to speak my truth. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is not good. And that shockingly is the most pissed off my viewers have been in a while. So I stand by it. I don't think they're good. But that's fine.
I wish I could be the guy to like argue with you about it right now, but I don't care for cereal, so that opinion stands in this fucking. This is a safe space.
Exactly. Literally within 5 minutes, I had like 200 replies saying like, "Fuck you, and die." And I was like, okay, maybe sharing the guy that was spitting in his coffee was a bit much. I don't think it's that weird. Hold on.
Run that one by me again. What?
Theoretically, for Pride, this guy spit creamer into his coffee, got ice cubes from his balls and put it in the coffee, and a straw from his ass crack and put it in the coffee. Amanda was very upset at me for sharing that, actually. So, hi, Amanda.
Oh, it's a video.
I'll send it to you.
I'm sorry. Did you say he did that for Pride?
Well, I think it speaks for itself. I just sent it to you.
Spits the creamer in there. Oh, it was for Pride. Happy Pride Month. Okay. All right, now we're getting to balls. Oh no, it's repeating on its own. Stop.
There's something about the ASMR of hearing the ice clank as he like pulls it up. That's particularly disgusting. And I was like, yes, happy Pride, everyone.
We appreciate it.
I like a little chaos. Life is boring without it.
You got through the pick a hand.
Yes.
Easy peasy. First one down.
All right.
Now, just like that, we're going to more trivia. So, Kenny.
Yes.
Do you know who M Black is?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you're familiar?
Yes.
Do you remember being a fan? You remember them pretty well or no?
You did research. Shit.
If you kind of remember them, do you think you could possibly, I don't know, name me their top 5 most viewed songs on YouTube?
Maybe.
Give it a shot.
Most likely Y is in there.
Y is not on there.
No, let me try over. I swear I know the other ones. Okay.
I'll give you a life.
Give me a mulligan. That was a mulligan. Okay.
I'll get you. You got it.
This is War.
This is War is number 2 with 10 million views.
Really? Oh. Okay. Cry?
Cry is number 4 with 8.5 million views. Let's go.
Okay. Smoky Girl?
Smoky Girl is number 1 with 12 million views. Look at you.
It's a banger. Stay is number 5 with 7.3 million views. You're missing only one song. That is number 3 at 10 million views. Oh yeah. No?
Oh, I thought you meant like, oh yeah, I got the answer. Sorry. Was that the name of a song?
Yes.
Because that's not the number 3.
What's left? I can't even think of what's left.
It is Mona Lisa. 10 million views, number 3.
Mona Lisa! Let me tell you why that's actually incredibly embarrassing for me to forget. But while I pour my shot, I'm so sorry, A+. So when I was 16 when that song came out, As I Take My Shot of Shame. I was a hardcore A+, which is their fan club, because I had the time to be a stan at the time. And I stayed up for hours streaming Mona Lisa, and the sheer fact that I don't remember that song is my apology. I'm sorry.
Cheers to that. It's probably that first shot that fucking got it out of there.
Probably.
Without it, you would have had it, I think. Was that one smoother or still just as ass?
That one's smoother.
That's usually a bad sign.
Oh,
Oh no, it's over.
Oh, that's so shameful. I could have got that.
Hey, you got on a streak. It was pretty impressive. I didn't know how well you were going to remember it.
I haven't listened to In Black in years. I really should. Now I'm going to put on the bangers because they didn't have them on Spotify for a long time. So now they do. I used to buy all the albums. That's why I'm like, oh, like solid.
You still have them all?
They're at my parents' house now, but I had like their DVD of their first concert. I was the intense K-pop fan when I had the time. Now it's like so normal in a weird way for a lot of like teenagers to be super into it. I was like, I built this. I may be damn near 30, but I built this.
The next one is just a regular question here,
Okay.
When you review a movie like, for example, I'm in Love with a Church Girl, starring Ja Rule, the majority of your audience will probably agree, yeah, that movie sucks. But the more and more movies you eventually review, that's not always going to be the case. What's the most flack you've received on a movie review?
Oh, probably Hereditary versus Midsommar, because I said I liked both, but I found Hereditary not as good, which is apparently a very uncommon opinion. And a lot of people were like, I just don't think you got it. And I'm like, my ego is probably going to be like, well, I got it. But like, maybe I didn't, because a lot of people were bringing up like deductions that I genuinely don't know where they reached that conclusion from. But, you know, everybody takes away something else from the movie, and that's what makes it enjoyable to you. So I'm never going to be like, you're dumb for liking Hereditary more. Like, honestly, I don't care. Like, it's a very personal thing, but some people tend to really want to hear their own opinions voiced back to them. And so I think that movie in particular was like, you have disappointed me. Like, you have failed. And I was like, it's okay. You'll live. I wouldn't even say that I dislike. That was my dog.
Got a cameo here. Hi, Russet.
Hey. Boop boop. Okay. But I didn't even say that I disliked the movie. I was just like, it's not as good as Midsommar. And then I saw his newest work, which I haven't made a video on it yet, so I haven't gotten the flack for not liking that either. That movie.
Oh, you watched Beau is Afraid?
Yes, I did. I watched it like maybe the day it came out because I was so excited about it. And I went with a friend of mine and we just sat there in complete silence. And we didn't blink for 3 straight hours. And then when we walked out, we were just speechless. It's an experience. It's very interestingly made, but maybe I'm a little too shallow to get what they were getting at.
I don't know. I've heard mixed reviews, so I don't know.
I don't entirely know that it has a plot. And maybe this is something that I need to watch over and over again to figure out what you were getting at. But from the first viewing, I don't know what I watched. I'll never be the same again, though.
But I feel like that's respect to the director, right? Where you're like, okay, maybe I'm missing something. As opposed to another movie. What the fuck was the movie we watched for More Butter?
Possum.
Oh
yeah, Possum sucked.
Wasn't that supposed to have like a whole, well, it's about this and it's about that, and it's like, but that was boring as fuck. That shit was trash.
If I remember correctly, I watched it on like 2 times speed and still nothing fucking happened. And I was losing my mind. I already have somewhat of like somewhat of a loathing, mildly put, of artsy people, even though I would consider myself an artsy person. So I'm like, did you actually see that when you watched the movie? Or are you like, oh, yeah, the director said this, or like some interesting critic or whatever said this, and now I'm like, I can totally see. That was so obvious what they were getting at. It's like, okay. Like, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm too dense and want things that stimulate my ADHD driven mind. I will say this though, Beau's Afraid actually, despite it being 3 hours, was not boring to me, but it also was just a fever dream.
Have you seen Begotten?
I saw a Spooky Rice video on it.
Okay.
I was like, what the fuck is this? I don't know.
Yeah, that was how I felt with that.
Yeah.
Just disjointed shots, but it's supposed to have an entirely like story of it's God and Mother Earth. I think someone's getting head. Someone's getting head in the beginning or jerking each other off or something.
That's what was happening? It's black and white and grainy. I remember that. And just like weird sounds are happening. And then someone's innards are coming out.
Correct. Before that, there is jerking off though.
Oh.
Or
okay.
something, some head or something. It's supposed to be like Mother Earth receiving a seed. I'll explain it to you later, but we don't have time right now. But that was the movie review answer then. Okay, gotcha. Trivia back again so soon. We are doing a quick fire round this time. That might be good or bad. I don't know.
Is it like each one I get wrong, I gotta take a shot?
These are things you should know.
Okay.
Kenny, what is the very first movie review in the Bad Movies and a Beat playlist?
Tall Girl. I know that one.
Boom! Easy. See?
Yay.
Told you. Simple. Kenny, second question.
Started a phenomenon.
What is your most viewed story time video? I would give you multiple choice here, but it's a pretty clear-cut winner views-wise. It's like 100K above the next one.
I haven't done story time in so long.
Yeah.
Can I have a hint?
It has 488K views. Is that a hint to you? It's a Korean club story time, if that helps, even though you did multiple of those.
Do I have like a ugly bob and brown and like blue? No, there's 3 that come to mind. Cause there's one where I met like these guys that I refer to as the 3 Musketeers and they got in a brawl. I forgot about this story. Good times. They got in a fight at a club afterwards because we didn't want to fuck them. What happened? Let me think.
I thought you were gonna say, what happened to those guys? I miss those guys.
No, they were awful. Except for the one that was an MMA fighter and got really drunk and fought the other ones off because they were gross. Maybe the one that's the first time at MB2? Oh, I don't know. I just shit posted for years. I don't remember what anything got. Because also I don't remember what I have privated or not as well, which is another component of it. I'll just take the shot on that one. I really don't know.
Hold on.
Is it the guy?
Hold on. I feel bad. I feel bad because
I had a lot of shit happen to me in Korea, dude. I can't be any of them.
Your most viewed story time with 488K views is Welp That Escalated Quickly, where you talk about those fucking Ed and Eddie guys and the corny little one that was on a hoverboard.
Yes.
That's your most viewed story time.
I was like, do I have an ugly bob and like blue-gray lip gloss or lipstick?
It's funny you remembered your appearance, but then you were like, but what did I say in that video?
I remembered the ugly bob because I look like the peanut people from Proud Family because I didn't know how to braid my hair down. And I had a peculiar taste in lipstick. Yeah. So I got that kind of right.
I'll give that one to you.
Okay, I'll give that one to me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make you take a shot for that because that's the first thing you brought up. I was waiting for you to just say that's the one. And I was like, oh, okay.
But then there's so many that actually popped up when you asked me that question because I was like, the time my friend passed out in the bathroom and we had to call the ambulance and they kicked us out and everything. Anyway, yeah, next question. Let's go.
All right, this is the last quickfire question.
Okay.
You reviewed a movie starring my 2 favorite Viners, Keem Batch and Logan Paul. They starred in the movie Where's the Money?
Yes.
What were Batch's and Logan's name in that movie? This is multiple choice.
Okay.
This is multiple choice. You got a chance. All right.
Okay.
Before you start opening
I was
up
like,
the
never mind. Fuck it.
Was it A, Dre and Brock, B, Del and Eddie, C, Leon and Clark, or D, Will and Dylan?
A.
Final answer.
Yeah.
Locked in A, Dre and Brock. Batch's name in the movie is Del, and Logan's name is Eddie. It was B. I'm sorry, Kenny.
I knew it started with, all right. I knew it started with a D. But honestly, I wanted to block that entire movie out of my brain. It was fucked. And I had to watch that shit and it got demonetized. So
Oh, that's fucking,
it's fucking me up.
You said you weren't going to watch it, but then you just still watched it anyway.
Yeah, that's how I felt about The Idol, which is the weekend show. And I just finished watching the first 2 episodes of that. My video coming soon. I don't know when this is going out, but if it's out, you can link it.
Let's go. Cheers.
It don't even hurt no more. That's concerning.
Oh no. 3 shots in.
That is the last of our friend Tito's.
Those are big shots. Jeez. Okay. I
Yeah.
thought there was more than 2 shots when you first said that.
But weirdly enough, I'm better with shots than I am like wine or like mixed drinks because of all the sugar. So I should theoretically be okay.
I believe you. That's all that matters.
I believe in me
So.
too. Maybe because I'm drunk. Yeah, let's go.
Okay. We have arrived at our second pick a hand.
All right.
In my left, we will talk mantra. In my right, we will talk bars. Kenny JD,
Yes.
pick a hand.
Bars.
We're
Am I
going
supposed
with
to
the
freestyle?
right hand. Bars. Okay, so I'm gonna play an instrumental right now. It's a hard trap beat 2020,
No.
and I'm gonna. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that to you.
Okay, I'm drunk enough to say this. If you ask me, Kendall, can you recite a Mr. GG ad read? I could do it.
You know how fucking egotistical it would be to be like,
I got
All right,
that
what was-
Mojave red.
whether it's Naughty Pine, Black Neon, or Happy, in retrospect, the bottom line is you make music. And it is far from stereotypical YouTuber music, in my opinion.
Yay.
AKA, like, well, we just have money, so let's do it, you know.
Yay.
I really like Clarity and Bored, unrelated to this question, but have you ever given serious thought to jumping ship? YouTube star becomes music sensation, or absolutely not? And why?
I've never given thought to quitting YouTube to do music, but I have thought of taking music more seriously because there's a significant portion of my viewership that has no idea, or they found it separate from me and they didn't know that it was the same person, which personally strokes my ego to know that you didn't do it because you felt some sense of loyalty to me. You just liked it independent of that. I've been working on an album for like a year now, and I've just been kind of sitting on it for a while because I don't know if I want to do something more intentional or just kind of, in a way, I treat my music like shit posting. So I just say, fuck it, here's an album, by the way, and just go about my day. But I feel like in a weird way, that's just because maybe I have a level of insecurity in my music. So I'm just like, don't take it seriously. It's fine. If you don't like it, it's cool. Because I don't take it seriously. Because if I start taking it seriously, then it matters like what I do. But I have been interested in like taking it more seriously in the sense that rollouts are more intentional, making videos, making art that shows that I'm not just like a shit poster. Like I do take certain artistic endeavors seriously. One of the things that kind of like slows me down a lot is that I don't want to be famous like at all. Like that sounds like not fun. So I don't want to do like a Filthy Frank Joji kind of jump where he became like a legitimate artist.
Gotcha.
Or I shouldn't say I don't want that. I'm scared of that. That's probably the more honest answer. Like that frightens me. But also like this year I've been really talking about trying to do things that scare me and just do it anyway. That's a very long answer to say, no, I don't plan on stopping YouTube to do it, but I do want to do it more sincerely, maybe. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of money to just be like, fuck it, like whatever, you can listen to it if you want to. It's just kind of undermining the work that I've put into it. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it right now. You know, talking to people about like what like logistically does that look like, both from the musical side and also with my channel, like how I separate time. I need to get an editor. I've been saying this to you for years. I'm like,
we've been talking about this during More Butter.
And I still haven't gotten an editor, but I'm really like, please get an editor because it would free me up so much to do so many cool things. But
Nice. Okay.
I'm drunk. Okay. Sorry.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
I'm great. Let's go.
That's a good answer. That was a really well thought out answer.
Can you see the light leave my eyes?
I've noticed your mannerisms have changed since the first question, if that's
Has
what you're
it?
asking. You keep bobbing.
Oh.
You keep bobbing.
I'm not drunk at all. Okay, yeah, let's go, baby.
Because that was right hand bars. You still got left hand mantra. Do you want to go there?
Sure.
All right, cool. Left hand is mantra. You have an interesting sort of, at least what I like to call a mantra, if you will, where you said some days you just gotta give up. Which sounds funny on the surface, right? But I think is really interesting, especially in this space where so many content creators will suffer burnout. Do you take active steps like that to stay in the game mentally on camera, or are you just kind of winging it and it's been working out?
I would say not necessarily to avoid burnout, because I have a habit of signing on to too many contractual obligations. And so I don't really have the space to burn out, if that makes sense, which is entirely my fault. But I think one thing that's really freeing about kind of the space that I'm in right now on my channel is that, and I'm incredibly grateful to my viewers in particular, because I don't lie to them when I'm not in the mood to film. I just tell them, like, not gonna lie, I'm not feeling it today. I'm depressed. I'm having a depression episode. I'm on my period. I'm tired. I'm filming this last minute, but y'all want a video, yeah, and I got bills to pay, so here we go. And I think being that, like, upfront about it takes off some of the weight of feeling like I have to be on, because I don't have to be on. Like, there's been like whole stretched out periods where I'm still filming, where I tell them, like, hey, just being very frank with you, I don't have the capacity to be like super peppy today. I'm just not feeling it. But I'm sure this will be funny, because I like to watch shitty movies when I'm not feeling great. So it's a great way to like bring that as like a fun way that I'm like maintaining my emotional and mental health and stuff like that, and bringing that to them. So that's fun. I really appreciate my viewers for giving me like the space to have all the varying emotions that a human being will have. I find that I don't tend to burn out as much, where I feel like I have to have a certain level of energy. I can keep uploading, but it's just, maybe I'm at 80% today as opposed to 100%, or maybe I'm at 85% today. And that's just the natural ebbs and flows of life. And I don't feel like a whole lot of pressure to perform over what's authentic to me at any given point. And again, I think that's very much so because of my viewership, because they're really understanding and cool people, and I could not ask for a better community. So yeah, I really appreciate them for that. I do struggle a bit, because a lot of my creator friends kind of talk about that, like, feeling like they have to be on, and I don't really resonate with that, because I just tell them I'm not in the mood today. So like, I'm sorry. And that's so freeing. And I guess maybe this is my my way of saying, hey, creators, just tell them you don't feel like it today, but you got bills and contracts to do. So here's this video, whatever. I've had the luxury of working with companies that if I straight up say, like, hey, life has gotten in the way, they'll just say, okay, we can just move it. So yeah, I've had some flexibility. I try not to do that very often, because I like to be a creator that, you know, works on time, and like you can kind of rely on, both as a viewer and as someone that's working with me as a brand and whatnot. But, you know, sometimes life be lifing, and that's okay as well. So
okay, so it's more so just being like really transparent with your audience about everything. Just being like, hey, like, I know this is what I gotta do, but just so you know, I'm a person too. You had a shitty day, I'm having kind of a shitty day.
Like,
but here we are.
Here we are. And sometimes I tell them what my shitty day was. Like, I woke up and stubbed my toe and I ain't had a good day the rest of it. So if I seem a little pissed off, that's why. There was like some comments that were very nasty about how, like, I bring up, sorry for your male viewers, I bring up my period very often because it sucks. And so if you're wondering why I'm not happy, that's why. And I have one guy that's like, some dude watching it was like, you bring up, like, it feels like you're always on your period. I was like, imagine how annoyed I am. Imagine how pissed. It's almost like a cycle. And so, like, I feel like it's really important to just be upfront about it. Like, hey, I'm not 100% today, but let's talk about some funny shit. And also a lot of times making content does uplift my mood. Mm-hmm. So even if I'm like feeling down, I'm like, I watched some garbage and I want to tell you guys about it. And so this is like my respite just as much as it is, I think, people that watch.
Good advice. Oh, it's a good answer.
That's a lot of tequila.
Are you just looking at the bottle?
I'm fine.
Are you okay enough to move on to the next question, which is
Yeah.
trivia. Or this might make you feel better. It's the last of our trivia. Okay, no more trivia. After this. But there is 3 questions in this.
Oh, never mind.
Yay! Let's go. All right, you love your little Yorkie russet, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So that means you will do just fine because I have 3 true or false questions about Yorkies. Are you ready?
Okay.
True or false? According to the 2022 registration statistics of the American Kennel Club, the Yorkie is one of the top 10 most popular dog breeds in the U.S. True or false?
I think that's true.
Okay, you said true. It is false. Not according to them. Yorkie is not in the top 10. So
What number is
wrong.
it?
I don't know, but it's not 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
All
4,
right,
3,
we're
2,
bringing
1.
out Sir Jose Antonio de Cuervo. Yeah. Ooh.
Shout out, Jose.
How do you say cheers in another language?
Salud.
Salud. All right.
Oh, yeah.
That should have hurt more, but it didn't. I'm good.
Okay, that means we're rolling.
That means we're rolling.
Let's go to another one. True or false? There was a Yorkie named Smokey in World War II that was awarded a battle star.
That sounds stupid enough to be true.
Okay, true. You're taking the monogamish approach on this one.
Yeah.
That is absolutely true. There was a little Yorkie named Smokey in World War II. It is a fucking adorable story if anyone wants to take the time to read
What
it.
did he do?
He did so much. They just found him and they helped like the soldiers with tasks they had to do because the Yorkie was so tiny. And even alerting them of when people were nearby. So much. He's unfortunately passed, R.I.P. Smokey. But they have a whole gravestone for him that's like really decorated out.
He'd be like 85 if he was still
He's
like
just-
95 years old. Oh, shout out Smokey.
Shout out Smokey, a real one.
Pour one out.
Last one here. True or false?
Yes.
Yorkies were originally bred to hunt rats. True or false?
I want to say false just because the last one was true, but I don't think that's a smart way to go about that. Like, I don't think that's like true.
True. Yorkies were originally bred to hunt rats. You are correct. That is true. Apparently it goes, I guess it was some fucking warehouses in Scotland. They were tiny little Yorkies and they were like, yeah, they could fit in all the cracks and kill all these rats.
Fuck yeah.
And thus we have adorable Yorkies. That was the last of the trivia, so you're good. No need to worry about Jose. We're fucking golden.
What is that? 4 shots in?
Yeah.
It's me.
You shot 50%, I think. I think you literally got half right, half wrong. So,
Yeah.
not bad. We can move on to the next question here.
Sure.
Now, we don't need to jump down the dating rabbit hole yet. But you said before that you couldn't see yourself dating another YouTuber. I'm really interested in that take. Why? I want to know why you think that.
I don't agree with that anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think at the time I just didn't know that many YouTubers. And so I had this kind of preconceived notion about YouTubers. I think in an unfair way that's kind of like the Jake Paulian, like, you know, like this clout chasing type of person. And I think I kind of fell into believing that stereotype, which is interesting considering I don't consider myself to be one of those people, and none of the like creators I've met have been those people. So I think just meeting more creators has kind of helped me realize that that's not necessarily the most common person that I've met as a creator. So I think now, like, being that I've kind of recognized that more creators are just like normal fucking people, I don't really hold that thought anymore. I'm laughing because it seems like I've been on a few podcasts recently, and somehow or another my dating life comes up, and that's what's so funny about it, because my dating life is comically awful, and the fact that it's like bleeding into everywhere else is very, very funny to me. But yeah, I would date a creator now. I think there's something actually really appealing about it as a creator, because dating like your average Joe or whatever, there's a lot of like trying to explain what this is. And it would be nice to not explain what this is. Like, oh, how do you make money? Like, what exactly is a sponsorship? Like, what do you have to do for a sponsor? Like, why does that make you busy? Why does that take so much time away and whatnot? And it would be nice to be on that like kind of same playing field. I think I associated it with like a really big ego at one point.
Right.
Which I find to not necessarily be true. I think most creators are just people just working and doing what they like and doing what makes them feel fulfilled at any given moment. So yeah, and that's just people in general. So
So it's just more so like I wouldn't date a terrible person at that time. when
Yeah.
you said that.
yeah,
Okay,
I just assume as a creator, I just assume creators are terrible people. And then I'm like, yeah, I don't think I would want to date one. But no, now you realize, oh, not everyone's terrible. So
Okay, cool. All right. That's been settled. Now we know.
bam.
We have now arrived at our final pick a hand. The toughest of them all, some say.
Ooh.
In my left hand, we will talk growth. In my right, we will talk apps. Kenny, JD, pick a hand.
Growth.
Growth it is. According to you, as far as I can see at least, you started your channel, quote, as a way to talk with native and fluent speakers and learn alongside some people who are currently learning as I am, referring to learning Korean. And now here we are, over a decade later, with you booming with a staple like bad movies and a beat. But analytics aside, in what ways did actively having a YouTube channel all these years, very influential years, mind you, help you grow as a person, if at all?
There's so many ways. I think it's interesting to kind of see how my thinking about certain things has changed entirely. I was a very sure of myself person in like my late teens, early 20s, because I've had my channel for so long. So it's this kind of seeing myself be so, for lack of a better word, really stupid, but very sure of myself at one point, and like learning more and realizing that life is a lot more nuanced. And like over time, I've slowly been like privating videos where I just felt like you had too strong of opinion that you had no right to have at one point, you know, stuff like that. I think having an audience has like helped me understand that my actions matter. I guess going back to the original thing I was saying about like people not giving a fuck about their viewers, that is really concerning to me.
Yeah.
It helped me realize that what I make has an impact and what I do has an impact, whether it's just giving laughs to people or just giving them a respite from like how life is treating them. Like all of that really matters. And I think in a way that's been really affirming, both I guess to my viewers but also to me, in the sense that it gives me a sense of purpose. I think it really helped me kind of skip some of the growing pains of like not really knowing if what I do matters or like what I do affects people in like this great and influential way. I think it's been good to have people see me grow like as a person. And sometimes they'll kind of remark like, hey, I remember like 2 years ago you felt XYZ way about something and now you feel this way about it. And it's been interesting to not just see that like opinion change, but also see like the evolution of it. Because a lot of times, because I upload every week, people are watching like that evolution happen. And that gives me kind of this freedom that I really appreciate from my viewers to kind of follow me on that journey. Because I think that also goes into the fact that my channel has been so many different things over the years. Like it started off as learning a language and now it's movie reviews. Like how did that happen? But there's people that have followed me, you know, each step of the way, and it's been invaluable to have those people that watch me grow and are along for the ride. And I really am very grateful to those people. I've been doing this since I was like 16, 17, something like that. So people have grown up with me. They've watched me grow up. I think it's been, I guess, affirming that, you know, people do go on these journeys through life, and it's great. And I can't have a smarter response to that because I'm drunk.
That was a pretty good drunk response if you fucking asked me.
I don't even know what I said. I'm sure it was honest though, because I was drunk.
It was a good answer, just so you know.
Sweet.
Anyways, do you want to go to the right hand now of apps?
Sure.
Okay, let's go to apps.
I'm feeling reckless.
Unfortunately, it has come to this. Dating apps.
Oh no.
Dating apps.
Let's go.
It had to be somewhere here. It's a simple question. I know you're kind of, sort of, not a fan.
Is this my brand? This is my third podcast I've done in the last 2 months where they're like, so dating app.
You talk about it. I don't know.
Because it sucks.
She seems to bring this up a lot. I guess I could talk about it with her.
Yes. No, I'm not shading you. I'm shading me. This is my brand. Let's go. I'm not ashamed about how bad it is.
Super simple question. What's a weird or ridiculous story that comes to mind that you haven't told about one of your interactions that spawned from a dating app?
There's so many.
I bet there are.
A lot of people keep finding my Twitter.
From dating apps?
Yes. And it's the worst of my social media you could find. The least you could do is find. I've had this happen more than 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. People have found my Twitter. One guy I had been talking to maybe an hour, and I tweeted something along the lines of is it me, or maybe I'm just not into guys who are very affectionate early on. And I remember saying something like that. And I made some maybe a bit crass joke. I'm like, you're talking about you want to kiss me. What if your breath stank? And mid talking to me, he screenshotted my Twitter, which I did not know he had, sent it back to me and was like, wow, really? And I was like, I don't know you. I can say whatever I want. Oh, I knew him for maybe 2 hours, and he said he wanted to cuddle with me and watch YouTube cooking videos. And I think I referenced that in the tweet. Why am I so turned off by this? Is what I was tweeting. I didn't give him my number. I didn't give him anything. And he just screenshotted my own Twitter back at me gotcha. And I was like, so I'm going to block you now. Because how the fuck did you find my Twitter? But that's happened so many times. Another guy, long story, he was on house arrest. I'm not going to get into that. But he was, and had a kid that I didn't know about, but long story. He found my Twitter because he popped up after a year and was like, hey, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. And I remember tweeting something along, it was like, guy I haven't talked to in a year. Hey, how are you? And I'm like, huh? He screenshotted that back to me. Also did not know he had my Twitter. He was like, is this about me? It's really fucked up. And I was like, am I crazy? or am I? Because I had a moment where I really had to look back on myself. I'm like, am I in the wrong for tweeting this? Mm-hmm. Or is it weird that you follow me and you didn't tell me that? And I don't know. I've heard mixed responses on it. I stand by. You would tell another person if you follow their Twitter, but I think they see that so many people follow me that they're like, I don't have to do that.
Right.
And that I don't appreciate because I'm essentially like any other person. You would say hey, I followed you on Twitter, and then we would exchange it. So I've had that happen quite a few times. I've also had guys that I've talked to find my Twitter. One guy found me because I guess one of my tweets kind of got some traction. He texted me. I was like, hey, I found your Twitter. Oh, you're followed by Philly D? Cool. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. He was like, oh, I'm going to definitely follow you. And then 3 days after that, I matched with the guy, did not talk to him at all. And he said, I found your Twitter. I'm following you.
You don't share your Twitter anywhere, right?
No.
Not on the dating apps,
I don't
right?
even put my full name. I don't put my number on it. I don't even have my Twitter connected to my number. So if you find my Twitter, it's because you found me and you recognize my face and the cartoon face on my Twitter, or you reverse searched it.
Oh, maybe that. Okay, that's still weird. Is it common for people to do recon? I don't
think so. I take it as a compliment. I was like, oh my God, she's too pretty to be a real person. Let me reverse search it. But but also it's just really weird. I've had a lot of that. I don't use Bumble because there's a lot of like conservative dudes that want to try a black girl and I'm not interested. And then there's like Hinge is just really ugly dudes recently. I forgot what the original question was about apps. What were or just like weird.
I don't know. You just insulted every guy that has Hinge on his phone right now.
Not everybody.
You just heard so many guys.
Not everybody. No, some.
You said recently. There's a dude who downloaded like 3 days ago who's watching the video like. Oh, man.
It's not that you're ugly. You're not ugly if you're on Hinge. If you're ugly and in Michigan, you're ugly on Hinge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out Michigan.
Not always. It wasn't always the case. In 2020, y'all were kind of cute. I had one dude that I talked to 3 years ago find me again on Hinge, and that was very strange because he ghosted me 3 years ago, and then found me again and was like, "Hey, I'm sorry," and I was like, "I'm not gonna respond to this. Like, I'm okay. I'm good." But like, dating apps suck. Like, there's nothing you can do to make dating apps not suck. You can be 6'8" buff dude who's like really rich. Dating apps still suck. You can be a fucking model. Your hair is $300 million or whatever. Dating apps still suck. And I think that's almost reassuring that no matter how hot you are, no matter how ugly you are, or somewhere in between, you will still have a terrible time on dating apps. And a We Are the World type of thing.
I couldn't have asked for a better response from you on that question.
This is my speech to the TED Talk. Do you feel like you're too ugly for dating apps? Do you feel like you're too pretty for dating apps? Lo and behold, your experience will be largely the same. Because dating apps sucks. Okay, thank you.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Perfect. You got it. Pick a hand, super fucking easy. You cleared both. You cleared growth and apps. You got through all 3 rounds of the pick a hand. Normally, I would end this on trivia, but I'm not going to add any more boosts at this point. So I just have one last question to you.
I'm not afraid. I'm overly confident right now. No, I'm joking. Please don't.
Absolutely not. I didn't even plan for it. I wrote this down before I even knew where we would be at this point. I'm like, no, there's no more trivia. We're done with that. Last question. Simple question. I know you weren't exactly encouraged to dive into horror growing up. But is there a movie that stands out as a bone-chilling experience to you, or are you still like more so terrified being in the action in games like Little Nightmares, Inside, and Limbo?
I'm pretty into horror generally. So I think I kind of dabble in both at this point. Like, I've always been very interested in like horror as a genre, generally speaking, to the chagrin of my very, very Christian mother in particular, who was like, as I was watching horror movies and listening to Linkin Park, was very concerned for my soul. You know, I think horror is very interesting as a genre anyway. I think maybe video games add this other element of like being very submersive, and I like that aspect of it. I just played Bracken or something like that. It's another like Little Nightmares type game. I do find myself really interested in that like kind of fairy tale horror that has like a child as the main character leading through this very scary world and stuff like that. I think right now I kind of lean more into the video game side of things because I don't find that a whole lot of horror movies are particularly unique. I find that most of them I watch are kind of like, oh yeah, and she's gonna, oh yeah, jump scare there. Yeah, I know. But I think video games are keeping things very interesting and unique and scary in ways that are very visceral. For anyone that's ever played Inside, I replay it all the time, but the first time I played it, I was like, what the fuck am I watching? And what am I experiencing? What have I journeyed through? And I think that's a much more interesting, I guess, way to experience that than movies where it's kind of like passive and you're kind of just watching what takes place. Again, drunk, don't remember what your original question was, but I'm gonna say video games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, okay, so I get you. Being more immersed, that's the move for the horror genre.
Yeah.
Not so much what's coming out nowadays, movie-wise.
At least what I've seen. Maybe there's more indie stuff that I need to like dive into that's more interesting, but yeah. Even watching other people play video games, it's like, oh my god, what the fuck? I saw somebody playing like the Outlast Trials or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on? What is going on? I love this. Like, this is insane. It's hard for me to not feel safe while watching a movie. Whereas a video game is like, I feel visceral. Like, I can't play Resident Evil. Like, I tried to play the latest Resident Evil not too long ago. The idea of just like running blindly while things are chasing me made me too anxious. I can't play Dead by Daylight. It makes me so anxious. I don't know why. But I could watch like the most fucked up horror movie and not feel really anything about it. So yeah, I think that immersive quality makes it that much more tangible, that much more scary.
Perfect. All right. That was the whole fucking interview. I think you did a good job, regardless of how drunk you say you are, or maybe not are. I think you smoked that.
I'm
right?
very drunk.
I mean, you refuse to open your eyes, but you're fucking doing it. That's all that matters. Anyways, congratulations on going through the Pick a Hand interview. Kenny, where can they find you, Kenny?
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
You can find me on Kenny JD, which is YouTube and Twitter. Those are the most shameful parts of where I am. I'm also on Instagram occasionally. TikTok, that I keep forgetting I have. You can also say hi to me there. Yeah, those are the main places.
Hey, that's like the first word you slurred. So that's pretty good. It took this long.
I only did, what was that, 4?
Yeah, it was 4 shots. And you also switched it up. It was 3 vodka, 1 tequila, I think.
I believe in myself.
That's that's the interview, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.